What's up? This is your host, Non-Fungible TC, Non-Fungible Today and Non-Fungible Tomorrow. And as you can see, my thumbnail has changed and I do listen to feedback. So shout out to Murigawa, who's from the Kerns Discord. He told me to change my thumbnail to be more, I think, generic in a sense that people could have faith in it, I guess. So anyways, guys, to today's programming, if you look at the market today, we are seeing some green. Bitcoin was hitting 20,000 for some time. And if you look at this 4 hours chart, we are kind of recovering. And one of the reasons for this is that it is potentially related to this news. So if you look at this news, so what happened in the market is that Liz Truss reversed her tax cut plans. So basically, the UK, the tax cut plan is now being reversed. So it means that very likely, maybe the rich people could be, taxed more. So there will be more money back in the treasury. The ocean freight rates continue to fall. So it could also mean that, in terms of logistics, the inflation cost might be lower. This is interesting. Poland wants trillions in World War II reparation from Germany. So it kind of shows that the countries themselves are not doing so well economically. Yesterday we talked about Credit Suisse CDS, which is the credit default swap. Now for UBS as well, UBS credit default swap is price hits a decade high, which also means that there's a potential that UBS might default on the debts and stuff like that, right? GM General Motors sales rose 24% in Q3. Peloton putting bikes in Old Hilton. Nvidia seizing activity in Russia. Elon Musk getting dragged on Twitter, and Kim Kardashian got clapped by SEC fines. So Kim got guardians yesterday. They were being fined by the SEC for promoting a certain cryptocurrency called Ethereum Max. So let us dive in today. One of the things that I think is related to the market rally could be because of this. A UN agency called on the Feds, another central bank, to halt rates. So basically what happened is that if you look at this, UN accused richest countries of imprudent gamble in inflation fight. Report says that policy of high interest rate and austerity risk triggering global recession that will hit developing countries the hardest. So yes, the US can raise interest rate, right? And also people are buying US dollars, making the US dollar very strong, but causing a lot of different type of, developing countries or other countries' currency, losing its value, right? And the more if the Fed raises interest rate, it's gonna affect other countries. So this is what UN is saying. UN is saying that, hey, the world's richest nation, you guys, I know you're fighting against inflation risk, but you, by raising your interest rate hike, it's causing a huge, turmoil for developing countries, right? So the UN agency said that an urgent course correction was required to prevent a cascading series of crises of debt, health, and climate emergencies for poorer countries struggling to cope with the economic hit from the COVID pandemic and Russian war in the Ukraine. So the intervention comes as global central banks sharply increase interest rate to combat inflation to at the highest level for 4 decades, right? So, however, UNCTAD say that policy leaders and political leaders and central bank in advanced economies are making the mistake of harking back to the hawkish policies, right? Because it is inappropriate for the world's current junction, right? So right now, our world is so interconnected, right? The more you rate your interest high, it's gonna increase the value in the value of dollar against the other currency, putting pressure on poor nations on the price of goods imported from overseas, as well as the cost of servicing them debt. So if these, sovereign countries forfeit, have debts and also, basically decide not to pay these debts, it's gonna cause a lot of cascading effect. So probably one of the reasons why the market rally is because, look, it shouldn't rally, right? UBS facing some crisis, Deutsche Bank facing some crisis, Credit Suisse facing some crisis. But one of the reasons why it is kind of rallying could be because of this, right? People are thinking that, maybe the US will take into account of this, or the other sovereign nations, developed countries, might raise interest rate slightly lower, so, to follow UN's recommendation, right? So this is just a recommendation. It is not a must, right? Because if you look at the markets, right? Look at Europe market is going up. Asian market is kind of the mix, really. Pre-market in US is up, and that's why we do see that green market day in cryptocurrency, right? So if you look at this, right, mortgage mayhem spots fear of a housing market crash in Britain, credit remain under pressure. So none of these are positive news, but why is the market rallying, right? So I think this could be a positive news. Hopefully the interest rate hike will be controlled. So if you look at the calendar today, nothing really much of interest. CFTC Commissioner Johnson speaks. Maybe he'll talk about some crypto regulation. She talk about crypto regulation. Maybe that could help with the market if it's positive, not too hawkish. So cryptocurrency market cap now at 955 billion. Bitcoin trading at 19,000. We're touching 20,000. Ethereum 1,347. So kind of up. We look at stable coins market cap, kind of really dumped and then sideways. So it basically means that maybe some people are taking profit as well. If you look at Nansen, yesterday we talked about Matic, right? Smart money is buying Matic, and then you look at the growth for Matic, it's kind of crazy. How this plays out, right? In the last 24 hours, there's a 7% growth, and this growth basically outweighs the other top cryptocurrency. So sometimes when on-chain data tells you something, maybe you shouldn't ignore it, right? Yesterday, Link was also top, right? So if we look at Link and see if it, have any change, right? Chainlink 7.15% up, right? So look at this upward, right? So sometimes on-chain data works, but because this is a one-day change, right? I don't have the subscription. I cannot show you like live changes. So yeah, it's just good to see this, right? So Citibank says decentralized crypto exchange are winning market share from centralized peers, blah blah. So anyways, T-Mobile parent Deutsche Telekom launches Ethereum validator seeking support, which is kind of bullish as well. So McDonald's sought to accept Bitcoin and Tether in Swiss town. So, they are experimenting this in accepting cryptocurrency in McDonald's. So this is definitely bullish. It means that there must be some sign off from the global office for them to do this, right? And then DeFi token and Chainlink, Lighter Finance, MakerDAO jumps 7%, right? So DeFi, is warming up as the winter set in, which is quite interesting, right? So maybe one of the reasons why DeFi is up because Chainlink announced the sort of if you look Chainlink build, right, supercharging dApp growth through cost ecosystem incentives, right? This interoperability idea. And then if you look at this, Bitcoin price sees October spike. And so another reason why we're seeing a upward movement could be because people think that, hey, October is usually a green month, and that could drive the narrative as well. Like it's kind of like a self-fulfilling hypothesis. Payment giant MasterCard launches cryptocurrency anti-fraud tool for card issuers, right? So they are launching something called Crypto Secure, a new software product designed to help banks and other credit card identify block suspicious transactions from crypto exchange. So maybe more regulations in this part, but at the same time, the more regulation, maybe it will provide some certainty. Maybe one day we could buy crypto with cards without being banned, right? If it's not like suspicious. So appropriate regulation needed over crypto, government report recommends. So there's a new report by the government, from the U.S. government about regulations, right, and appropriate regulations that does not harm innovation. And at the same time, NYDIG raised to 720 million for institutional Bitcoin fund. So funding VCs and stuff like that. They are looking into crypto, right? They are looking into crypto even though the market is so bad. So another news, Time president of NFT haters, I don't understand the politicizing of technology, right? So basically, Time's chairman is actually quite bullish on NFTs, as you can see with what Times has been doing. So he basically, shares about his view on the NFT haters. So if you look at NFT news, some interesting ones. UPS launches a metaverse location in Decentraland. Okay, so this is gonna be like a mainly for education, like a space for events and educational purpose, right? So it's interesting to see, more and more of this happening, right? Brands coming into the metaverse. Okay, education is the heart of the metaverse space. So they want to do education to help small companies, right? Moet Hennessy, this big brand, basically the LVMH group, US files NFT and MetaMask trademark application. So definitely we could see more of these luxury brands entering into the metaverse. So Trade Swap Snipers yesterday, there was some rumor about the team maybe rugging because they have some financial issues and they're not able to pay some of the staff. And then the founder kind of responded as well. So if you are using Trade Swap, so some team members said that, hey, you should disable your permissions and stuff like that. There's a chance that I might rug. But to be honest, I think you should check out this news if you use the platform, and you will be the judge in whether you want to take up this risk, right? So LFG news. Let's see what NFT news we have today. Proof announced the Moonbird DAO team is allocating a total of 2.6 million to put into the DAO in the form of USDC and Moonbirds coming early in 2023. URL in Beeple's Discord was hacked, and Zach XBT, hinting a huge investigative thread, and also Beeple made a honorary art for Zach for doing that. So users of OpenSea paid 144.5 million fees over the past quarter, and 35 million went to OpenSea, and this is quite crazy. NFT sales plunged in Q3, down 60% from Q2. Sales on OpenSea fell fifth consecutive month on September. But Solana NFT sales volume nearly doubled last month. Okay, so it really shows you it is not NFT sales, but it is the chain and also the platform. Because I think Magic Eden was doing quite well. So Kuraito World floor price went up. Nansen published an on-chain data analysis about some smart money buy and stuff like that. So that's it, guys. Prada Cryptid announced its drop of its fifth time capsule NFT collection. So Prada is still doing the NFT collection, and this is kind of like a physical where it pairs with the real life capsule collection, if I remember correctly. So that's it, guys. This is today's episode. If you like the content, remember to like and subscribe, share, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you're trading, trade safe. On a green day, it is great, but remember, every day the market changes really quickly. This is the host Non-Fungible TC signing out.